Slamming the gas after a green light can slash your fuel economy by as much as 33%. That's not hype. That's the cost of treating every intersection like a drag strip. In the next minutes, you'll see the exact habits bleeding your tank and how to fix them without driving slower overall. I'll reveal the 5-second launch that protects your wallet, why sudden speed swings spike fuel burn, and the anticipation trick that preserves momentum and reduces brake wear. If you've felt your budget evaporate at every stoplight, this is your wake-up. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If two cars leave the same green light, why does the driver who hammers the pedal often use up to a third more fuel yet roll up to the same next red? Light flips green. One driver lunges forward, engine growling. The other rolls out, steady and calm. They meet again a few blocks later, side by side at another red. That launch felt quick, but it came with a hidden tab. You paid for speed you couldn't keep, and the bill showed up at the pump instead of on the clock. Here's the twist. Punching it feels efficient because you got ahead, but the engine sees a heavy load and responds with a richer mixture. More throttle equals more fuel per second. At the same time, that burst hikes drag and rolling losses as speed rises. Then you throw the momentum away with late, firm braking. You bought energy with fuel and cashed it out as heat in the rotors. Net gain on arrival time? Usually nothing. Let's break it down without jargon. When you press harder, injectors stay open longer and the engine dumps in more fuel to deliver torque. The faster you try to change speed, the more power you ask for, and power demands fuel. As your speed climbs, air resistance stacks up hard, and even tires deform more, which adds rolling drag. If the next light or slower traffic forces you back down, the energy you paid to store in the car's motion burns off in the brakes. That's the waste loop. Research backs the penalty. Rapid spurts and dips bump highway consumption by up to 30%, and stop-and-go streets hit even harder because the cycle repeats constantly. In cities, every light becomes a multiplier. The cost isn't a single big hit. It's dozens of small ones you don't feel, stacking into real money. Run a quick micro case. 6 miles, 12 signals. Common for a cross-town commute. Say your car averages 24 miles per gallon with calm starts. Hit each green with an aggressive launch and late brake, and you trigger small enrichment spikes 12 times. That can drag the trip average into the high teens. Stretch that over 10 round trips a week and you're burning extra gallons you didn't plan on. The weekly total shows up as a larger fuel receipt, even though your door-to-door time barely changes. The makeup time idea sounds good, but rarely survives traffic. You sprint, then run into a queue, or catch the next red that the pack also hits. You idle with everyone else. Only now you've already paid a fuel premium to get there. The clock doesn't reward the surge when the system ahead is the limiter. Smoother starts help in ways you feel and ways you don't. Easing off the line keeps engine load moderate, so fuel flow stays low. You maintain a gap that absorbs small slowdowns without hard braking. That steadier pace keeps you in sync with the green wave more often, so you glide through more intersections without stopping. Less pedal drama equals fewer energy dumps into the brakes, and the trip flows. So what is that 33% penalty at red lights? It's the lead foot calling for maximum fuel enrichment to jump ahead, followed by tossing that purchased momentum as heat a minute later. It's a repeated tax on every block when signals and packs control the flow, not your right foot. Now that you know how the waste happens, let's turn to a launch technique that keeps the car moving, trims the fuel spikes, and still has you arriving right on time. What if taking 5 seconds to reach 15 miles per hour could trim your monthly fuel bill without adding a minute to your trip? Here's how you turn that into a habit. Use the 5-second rule at every fresh green. Apply gentle pressure, feel the car roll, and aim to see 15 miles per hour by the time you finish a slow count to 5. You're not crawling, you're controlling load. That small shift keeps the engine out of the thirsty zone while the traffic ahead opens up. You trade a brief, smooth launch for fewer fuel spikes and less braking later. A lot of drivers worry this will look slow or annoy the car behind them. The reality is the pack ahead decides the real pace. A measured start keeps you aligned with that flow, not stuck yo-yoing. You close gaps without surging, which means fewer unnecessary stops and a more consistent speed. The car behind has time to roll too, which actually reduces the accordion effect and smooths the whole lane. Practice once with a timer so you know the feel. From a full stop, press the pedal steadily and count. 1 1000 to 5 1000. Watch the speedo climb in a clean sweep to 15 miles per hour. Your foot should stay calm. No jabs, no hunting. Do it twice, then ditch the timer and use your internal count. After a day or two, your right foot learns the exact pressure. The payoff shows up on your instant miles per gallon readout and in how little you need the brakes. Driving a manual? Shift in the 2,000 to 2,500 RPM range with light to moderate throttle. That band delivers useful torque without diving into the high rev, high fuel zone. Short shift smoothly, avoid lugging, and let the engine's mid-range do the work. You cut fuel use and reduce clutch and synchro wear. If the road is uphill or you're carrying passengers, allow a touch more RPM, but keep it under the point where the engine note gets busy. Tech can help, but use it wisely. Adaptive cruise or eco modes can hold a steady pull from low speeds, which support smooth launches. They're not built to read a stale red or see a turning lane jam, so stay in charge. Keep a thumb ready to cancel if traffic gets weird, the road is slick, or you need tighter control. Think of these systems as stabilizers, not autopilot. Now build anticipation into every approach. Look 2 to 3 cars ahead and scan the signal. If the next light's been red a while, ease off early and let the car coast. You bleed speed with almost no fuel and arrive as it's about to turn. Sometimes you roll through at a crawl without stopping at all. That's free distance from momentum you already paid for, and it spares your brakes. Here's a real-world pattern you'll start to notice. Smooth launch, hold a modest gap, and avoid abrupt inputs. You'll often catch the green wave, not by luck, but because you're matching the system's rhythm. The sprinter blasts off, brakes hard, and stops. You keep rolling, pass their bumper while they're stationary, and reach the next junction at the same time or sooner, with less fuel burned and cooler brakes. Why does treating your gas pedal like a binary switch drain your wallet? A stomp orders maximum fuel on takeoff, then forces heavy braking to kill the excess speed. Precision inputs keep load moderate, preserve momentum, and cut both fuel and brake costs in one move. You've got the method. On your next drive, try the 5-second launch for your first 3 starts and watch your instant miles per gallon respond. Tiny, repeatable choices at each green light add up. Ease the launch, protect momentum, and you'll spend less on fuel while putting fewer miles on your brakes and tires. That's real money and a calmer drive. Try the 5-second launch on your next 3 starts. Watch your instant miles per gallon climb as your foot stays steady. Then tell us your before and after in the comments so others can see what works. Next, we'll put a stopwatch on savings. Eco mode versus anticipation. Which one actually wins in traffic? We'll run it with trip data and bring the numbers. Subscribe if you want the results without guesswork.